The public protector's view that the mandate of the Reserve Bank should be reviewed is receiving support in some quarters. Trade Union Federation Cosatu wants South Africa to go even further, though, than a new focus on growth. It wants the Reserve Bank nationalised. The central bank is privately owned, but it has a board of directors appointed by the president. It has been praised for its independence and for carrying out its mandate on stabilising prices in the economy. Earlier, Francis spoke to Cosatu's spokesperson, Sizwe Pamla, and asked him if it's not dangerous to interfere with the Reserve Bank if it seems to be working well.
The point you have just made is exactly what is wrong with this country. The fact that if something works for others, then we should not touch it, despite the fact that millions of poor people and workers, it doesn't work for them.
But will it make, what I'm saying, how powerful is the Reserve Bank?
Let me make this point. This is not working for workers and for the poor majority of this country. If it works for bondholders, and if it works for the JSE, and if it works for big companies, it doesn't work for South Africans, because those are not South Africans. You have got 17 million people on welfare. You have more than 9 million people who are unemployed. So you can't argue that the system is working. The system, firstly, the system is not working. We have to agree with that. It can't be that we are where we are. We are the most unequal country in the world. So you can't make an argument that this system is working. It is not working.
No, I agree with you.
Secondly,
I agree with you.
You have 60% of workers in this country who earn less than 5,500 rand. Workers, out of the 15 million people unemployed.
How is monetary policy going to change that? That's my question.
Listen to this. We have not said that nationalizing the Reserve Bank is the panacea to all of our problems. But we have said that the transformation of the treasury, the change in the neoliberal policies that put growth first, and then say income distribution and employment as secondary. So when we talk about transforming this economy, firstly what we need to do is to dismantle the cartels by making sure that government starts to actively play a role in the economy. That's point number one. Number two, the state-owned entities. We defended these state-owned entities when they were being privatized. We said they must be nationalized. So government has to use those entities as tools to ensure that we're able to transform the economy. Secondly, if you change the management of those entities, and then you nationalize the Reserve Bank, and make sure that the Reserve Bank acts in the interest of the majority, not of the select few. And thirdly, the institutions that are supposed to work to benefit everyone, they have to be transformed. So we want to make this clear. We're not arguing that just nationalizing the Reserve Bank is the panacea to all of our problems. But all of these issues have to happen. What we cannot allow is that a system that currently works for the few, we are going to be told that it works. It doesn't work. If it works for the few, that system does not work. Okay,
my final question, going back to the beginning, are you not worried about inflation, which is a huge problem in South Africa, which also affects the poor? If we change the mandate and we stop worrying about inflation, people's salaries can be worth nothing, can be worth much less. People's pensions that they are living on can be inflated away. Suddenly their money just cannot buy the same things that it once did.
You have 17 million people who are on welfare. We cannot continue to say we are going to manage inflation because we cannot afford to have any state. No state should be taking care of the people. People should be allowed to take care of themselves. So what we should be doing is to implement policies that are going to allow people to have the means to take care of themselves. Not that people have to be survive on handouts. Currently, government, you see service delivery protest about housing. Some of those people are employed, but because they don't earn enough, they cannot afford to buy houses for themselves. So what we are arguing here is that we do not want this system of economy that allows only the few to say we are taxpayers, we contribute so that we can take care of the rest. That is not the system that we want. We want a system that is going
Why are you saying the Reserve Bank targeting inflation is only benefiting a few?
We're talking about an economic system. I'm going to correct you again. Cosatu is not arguing that nationalizing the Reserve Bank will be the panacea to all of our economic problems, but it will be very necessary to nationalize the Reserve Bank if ever we're going to transform this economy of this country.